Bitcoin is kind of predictable. All it does is to grab the liquidity and to continue in the opposite direction. Hello and welcome to COINWIZ. Today I want to talk about Bitcoin USDT. We are on the Bybit chart, and however I will start the analysis from daily and I will continue with the 4 hours. You can use this analysis in order to take your entry, in order to buy Bitcoin, or what I do is to leverage trade. Whatever you want, you can use this in your favor. I usually start from daily because higher time frames usually guide what is going to happen on lower time frames. And if you have some patience and you zoom out on the chart, you can see something really interesting happening here. Let's use a trend line for the sake of this analysis. We see this trend line created by these 3 points over here, making a bullish movement. It went through it and now it seems to continue a bearish movement. However, this is a perspective from one single time frame. If you want an accurate analysis, of course we need to go on lower time frames as well. Also, I want to see what happened to this swing high over here. So I'm gonna use this tool and go to the left and see where it reacted from. And again, if we zoom out even more, I can see this area over here that made Bitcoin create this bearish movement. So I switched to weekly in order for you to see why this reaction happened. First of all, there was a break of structure starting from this point over here to this point over here. This was a demand area that transformed into a supply one. So this zone was pretty relevant in order to create this small bearish movement that of course can continue in the future too. We're gonna see if it's gonna continue or not based on the lower time frames. So this is how the chart looks like on 4 hours. We are more interested in the 4 hour and 1 hour and also 15 minutes for an entry because we want to use leverage trading for this pair. Lots of liquidity over here as well. As you can see, Bitcoin is kind of predictable. All it does is to grab the liquidity and to continue in the opposite direction. By the way, I want to mention that Bybit is sponsoring our community and right now they are offering airdrops for you. If you're gonna use this referral code, you will be eligible for airdrops and other benefits. However, the airdrop is for the first 100 people that join, and you will find more information about it in the pinned message. So join our Telegram and see exactly what you should do in order to obtain it. So I'm gonna mark this liquidity over here that of course is gonna be taken in the future. Another thing that I'm marking right now, because I'm interested in the last movements that happen over here. Of course, in the future, this zone will be targeted, but for now, I want to focus on what happened now, and I want to trade exactly over here. So the first thing that I see is this wick over here. Was it filled or not? Because wicks represent liquidity. So from what I can see over here, yes, this movement filled the wick almost entirely. So I assume that liquidity was already grabbed from here. Another thing that I observed from the past is this break of structure over here on 4 hours. This break of structure happened between the swing high and swing low over here. After the break of structure, the market created liquidity, right? Went in order to grab the buy side liquidity, and then it stopped in this imbalance zone on 4 hours in order to continue the bearish movement because the break of structure was to the downside. So even if you're holding Bitcoin, even if you're trading it, looking at the chart will always make a lot of sense. Remember the fact that on the daily time frame, the price broke this bullish trend line. So at the moment, this can mean two things. One, the price is ready to go bearish, or two, the price only went lower in order for more liquidity grab, for example, from this low over here, and then it will continue bullish again in order to grab this liquidity over here. Remember that the price will always go to liquidity points. So this is the most important thing that you should look after. So right now what it did was for it to grab the liquidity from this swing low over here to form more liquidity over here. This is a range. It was created especially in order to create liquidity, and then with a strong push to the upside, it came back next to the 4-hour break of structure that it created, in order to give a reaction from this imbalance area. This is a strong zone to look for trades. It reacted nicely, and probably if you went on lower time frames, you would have caught something. Even on 1 hour, you had a nice entry for a swing. It was a change of character from here. It was clear that the market had the intention to go lower. After the change of character, there was this supply zone over here, close to the extreme area. The price stopped into it, and then it went completely bearish. Where did it go? It went exactly for the external liquidity or the sell side liquidity, however you want to call it. And right now, look what's happening over here. Let's go on 4 hours maybe to see it clear. Internal liquidity hit. After the internal liquidity being hit, external liquidity was the second target. So remember, again, the market moves from liquidity points to liquidity point. Change of character on 4 hours. Reaction over here from this demand area. If you went on lower time frames, you could have caught this long over here. However, right now, I will mark this zone. Change of character to the downside, premium and discount area. And now you can observe that the price is kind of indecisive. It can go both ways. So I see a reaction over here. After this change of character, the price came back into this area, created some liquidity over here, and stopped in a good premium zone in order to take a sell. However, if you look at the other way around, there was a change of character to the upside, so the movement can stop somewhere over here as well, between the premium and discount, or somewhere over here as well, in order to continue from here this buy movement. So these are both continuations. We can predict for sure which one is going to be chosen. However, we can react, and this is the best way of approaching the market, reacting to what's happening. Now let me zoom in and show you something. This is sell side liquidity, right? The buy side liquidity from here was already taken, and the price mitigated this zone in order for a potential sell continuation. If this zone is going to be taken, I imagine the fact that the price would like to go lower. So this will dictate a lot about the market movements. For example, the price can give us a nice reaction from here. It can go like that first. And then if it stops again somewhere over here and gives a nice reaction, for us to place a sell and to target this sell side liquidity. If not, if we don't catch a nice sell, what we can do is to wait for this liquidity to be taken first, and after it is taken, if let's say that more liquidity is created and the price is situated in a good demand area, to wait for it and to place a buy, because maybe the price decided to follow this this structure over here, this buy structure over here that is created. So again, it can go both ways. However, we can benefit from both of them. And we can benefit from Bitcoin even if it goes short or long. With leverage trading, everything works fine. You don't need to be there and buy only when it's low. You can simply trade it, you can watch it every day and catch small moves. As you can see, I've put the chart on 1 hour, and I can even refine what's happening over here. On 1 hour, I can already see that the price is struggling to make higher highs. So for me, this thing shows a bearish intention, especially for now. However, when you trade Bitcoin, it's really important for you to follow the news as well, because the economical calendar plus the crypto news influence the movement of Bitcoin. So as you can see, today we still have some news left that can influence the price. Tomorrow as well, there are some news happening. I usually look for the USD ones because we trade Bitcoin USDT or Bitcoin USD. So these are the most important ones. So that being said, maybe I can catch a sell somewhere from here if the price comes back before taking the sell side liquidity, or a buy somewhere over here, even here, if the price goes for the sell side liquidity first and then aims for this buy side liquidity and for the next liquidity points over here, which are swing points. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We are posting a lot of information here, and also we ask you for advice. We offer you exactly what you want to see.